Good day, everybody. This is Everyman's 40K channel. I'm Everyman, your host. For those of you who have been following my content, welcome back. If you're first time to this channel, please subscribe, hit that notification button. Sit back, enjoy yourself. We're going to have a good time here. We're going to show you how to convert. We're going to show you how to paint. We're going to talk about some tactics. So here in front of you today, we're going to work on this Stompa. So my buddy a couple days ago came by, dropped this by. This is the Games Workshop version of a Stompa. As if you go look, or as some of you may know, the Games Workshop version of the Stompa does not come with the belly gun. So my buddy and I decided we're going to go ahead and add one extra gun so he can call it a belly gun or claim it's a belly gun. This is a miniature rescue or a second-hand miniature. So he did buy it second-hand off of the internet. So it came to us looking just like this. This is not, you know, his paint jobs or what his stuff looks like. This was already done in the front here with the little girders and the beams and stuff attached, and with the skull already attached. So we decided we were not going to break that down and, you know, put a belly gun in there. We didn't want to cut that up since it was already done. So what we talked about is we decided there's a good spot right under the armpit here, underneath this weapon, the hand-to-hand combat weapon. So if you can see right in here, this side is kind of full. It's got enough stuff going on there. But this side, the hand-to-hand combat weapon side, is kind of empty. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually put a cannon in there, and we're going to call it an auto loader or a belt-fed cannon. So we're going to use this pin. So this is just an ink pen. So what we're going to do is I'm going to break this down, take it all apart, and that pin is going to fit. I'm going to make some type of mount. Haven't really finalized that yet, but I'm going to make a mount, and we're going to stick that highlighter pen tube right under there and use that as a cannon. As I said, it is going to be belt loaded. So I'm going to have about 6 shells in a belt hanging off this, hanging down the side of his body. I'm going to put an ejection port in the rear. So I'm going to have a shell looking like it's coming out and being ejected. We're going to do a little bit of modification to the front. Another thing that I'm going to do is, this is the first time I've ever seen a Stompa in real life. So I'm going to actually have to take all the dimensions off of this, because as I've said before in some of my other videos, I am going to custom or scratch build my own Stompa. So for right now, I just wanted to leave you with this. This is just an introductory video. This may be 2 videos, a 2-part how-to. As you know, if you go to my how-to playlists, the way I do scratch builds is I'll load them up into several videos, try to keep them around 20 to 30 minutes each, and then show you the progress as we're going through each stage. So this one will probably take me 2. Just depends on how much I get done today, tomorrow, the next day. So yeah, this will just be the entry. This is the first one, so this will be part 1. I will get some more done, so I'll be back. I'm not going to wrap this up right now. I'll be back. I'm going to get the gun cut. Basically, I got to cut this. I got to break this down, do some other things, and then I'll be back. So, yep, give me a little while, get some stuff done, and I'll show you where we're at. So we're back after about a day's worth of work. I really put in some time on this one. A lot of this was confusing, and I was kind of struggling trying to figure out how to finalize this gun, but I think I have a resolution. So here's where we're at today. Like I said, I worked on this yesterday pretty much all day. I mean, not not 8 hours, but I mean off and on all day long. So we took the tube, as we discussed. This is what we're going to use, the pen tube or the highlighter tube. I took this bit here from my burner bomber kit. That is a gun that's supposed to go on the burner bomber. So I didn't use that because that's to make the WAS bomb blasted jet or something like that. And that's the one that has the KFF and all the extra weapons. So since I didn't go with that particular airplane, again, it left me with some bits. So we went ahead and put this on the bottom of the tube, attached it in the back by extending out another piece of plastic here. Went ahead and closed it up in the back, tightened it up. We're going to put a couple rivets back there. We added some poster board to thicken the back part up. We put some poster board here to kind of give it a little armor plate look. Again, it's just kind of an orc thing. Orcs like to double layer and put extra armor plates on things that really aren't needed. But so I went ahead and I started the ejection port. So if you could tell, it's got a round surface there underneath. So it's going to go ahead and attach somewhere close to the top. So once we get that attached, then underneath, right about here in this area, let me get a pointer. Right here somewhere in this area is where the shells are going to be hanging down. And we're going to put the import here, the intake for the shells, or the receiver. I'm going to go ahead and put like a little cover or like an umbrella. I don't know, it's not an umbrella, but just a cover, some type of cover plate that goes over the first shell so that you won't be able to see how the shell actually goes in. That way I don't have to cut a hole or anything. It's going to be coming over and around, and it'll hide it. And then from under there, then the shells will be hanging down. So it'll look pretty cool. Here's what we did for the barrel. So the barrel is quite big compared to the rest of the guns on the Stompa. We went ahead and we shoved another tube inside the highlighter pen or highlighter. We shoved another pen tube in there. Then what I did is I started to sand and carve just this front surface here to kind of make a cone. So it's a little bit, looks like a grot blunderbuss. So a little bit of a cone shape going back down into the weapon. That does two things. One, that allows the opening to be larger, so it makes it look like it's a larger gun. In addition to that, it makes the actual down inside there smaller where it gets dark. So when you paint that black and silver, it'll actually fade down into black, and you won't be able to tell. So it's really cool when it comes out after you get done painting it. Obviously, we're going to stick some more orc stuff on here. We're going to put the rivets as usual. We got to rivet this up. I got another steel band around here. We're going to put some rivets on the front. We're going to put some rivets right here on the front cap. So I'll be back. Let me go ahead and work some more on this, and then I'll come back and show you where we're at. Okay, so here we go. A couple hours later. One trip to Hobby Lobby. I needed some more plastic. So just to let you know, down inside there, I went ahead and put some shells. Those are, let me reach over here. These are just the tops of chopsticks. So what I did is I super glued the chopstick with thin, which seals it. Then you come back in and you sand it with a nice fine sandpaper, and it makes it basically solid like plastic. Went ahead and cut it. So you can see the shells are in there. You could paint those bright red, paint these gray, paint these silver, paint them black, nice and orc colors. We got the cover on. This is just handmade. That way when the shells are being fed in, I don't have to actually cut this tube open and try to show everybody, you know, the shell's actually going into the tube. That would be rather difficult to try to recreate, real life gun type stuff. We got the ejection port. We're going to put a shell in here being ejected out. We're going to put the rivets, my standard square rivets and round rivets all over this thing. Rivets on the front here, rivets on the front here. So yeah, again, getting close. So a couple more hours, 2 or 3 more hours, this will be done, the actual gun. And then we're going to go figure out how to mount it onto the Stompa. I still haven't figured that out. So come back here in a couple more hours and I'll show you where we're at. Okay, so today, after a couple hours of a little bit more building, as you can tell here, we went ahead and got the ejection port all ready to go. So you can see down inside there, we actually have like a working, it doesn't work because I glued it, but I mean I made it look like it should work. So if you paint all that down inside there black, and then you paint this little ejection piston here silver, paint this how you want, I mean this is going to look really good. So now you can see this here, this is hanging off. So I just wanted to show you guys what I'm doing now is I'm into the artistic stage. This is just kind of the portion now where I start adding rivets and little steel liners or plates to the surface, so it makes it look like it's really orky. So what you do basically, if you haven't seen my other videos, is you just cut strips of poster board, and then you just start gluing and you start lining areas, and then after that you go back in, you start adding rivets. So I think I'm going to make this only a one video. I think we're going to be able to wrap this up today. So I think I have one more, I have to shoot one more content filled video, and then that'll be the wrap up, and we can go ahead and get this thing mounted on the side of this Stompa here. Take this off so you can see it's going to go right in here, and it's going to look really good. I think that's going to look fantastic. So let me work on this a couple more hours, add some rivets, finish off these little strips here all over the place, make this look like a real orc cannon, and we'll come back a couple hours later. Okay, so we are finished. So I went ahead and made an I-beam right here, basically out of some stir sticks. Let me grab a couple, I'll show you. So basically just these, went ahead and did this, kind of made it into a grill. Got the rivets on it, as you can see. Turn it this way so you can see better. Got the little bolts, got the rivets. So ready for primer. So after this, I got it on the chopstick. I'm going to go take it out in the garage, go give it a coat of primer. Bring in the Stompa here so you can see. So this is going to mount when I'm ready right there. So I went ahead and also made it look like it's welded here or cut with the torch. So that way it looks like it's a thick piece of metal, but really underneath of there, it's just a stack up or a couple layers, 3 or 4 layers of this poster board. And then I went ahead and did my welding technique or my torch cutting technique around the edge. So it looks like this part right here and that's the Stompa's head area. So even on the model, if you can see, they even have an area that's the same. So basically I just copied it. Another thing I'm going to do is my buddy Stompa this is Games Workshop's method. I don't know if you've ever seen this. For those of you who haven't seen a Stompa, this is the saw arm close combat weapon, but that's its mounting method. And this is a family-friendly show, so I'm not going to say anything about how GW did this. I don't know if there's parts missing right here. Maybe there is. Maybe there's a whole piece missing. But this is just, this is not right. So I'm going to pin this for my buddy. So I'm going to take that pinning technique. I'm going to do a little something here. So it fits in this area right here a little bit better. So I'm going to stick it in here. I'm going to drill here, and I'm going to come up from underneath right up through there, and I'm going to pin this. So I'm going to fix this for him basically. So this arm for transportation will be able to come off and go back on when he's ready to put it on the table to play. So time to take this out. Time to go take it out to prime. And then after I prime it, we'll pin this, and then we'll come back and do the final wrap up, and we'll close this baby out. We'll do the final little showcase. Show this thing is complete. Okay, another couple hours. I'll be back. I'm going to watch a movie maybe. Let this stuff dry, and then go prime it and come back, and like I said, we'll wrap this up. Okay, so I was correct. This is missing a piece right here. Actually, it's missing a lot of pieces. As I told you at the very beginning, he did buy this secondhand off the internet. So this is, I went and pulled up a picture of Games Workshop Stompa, and I'll post that picture here. But he's missing the pistons or the actuators, and this piece is gone. I mean, half this is missing. So what we're going to do is I'm going to repair it. So I took two, what do you call it, tongue depressors. So this is wood, two tongue depressors. I went ahead and drilled a hole. So this is going to fit right around that socket right there. So once I get this all cut out and shaped, we're going to be able to close this up. And then once we close this up, we're going to go ahead and be able to give him some pistons back in here. So I just wanted to show you this real quick, how I'm going to close this up and what tools or what material I'm going to use. So I'll be back. I'll get this closed up, and then we'll add some pistons. Make this look orky, nice and cool. So we'll be back. Okay, everybody, she's done. So I went ahead and fixed this up. So as you can see, went ahead, plugged it in, plugged this in. I went ahead and turned the sword. So now the sword, instead of being across his body, it's more in a kind of an attack position, like an actual hand should be. So I called up my buddy and said, hey, I'm going to turn that sword. So basically what I did is I cut it right there. And then I just turned it, rotated it 90 degrees. Added this piece of copper wire here so it looks like a tube, because when I rotated it, I had to get rid of that. And then I got a pin here. So as you've seen on some of my other projects, go to the Mega Dread. You can see the way I pin things. So this is now pinned. So let me show you the gun real quick. So the gun is in. So there you go. Got the location in the back where it's mounted. Looks like a big cut, torched out piece of steel that they just kind of welded down in there with a piece of I-beam. Got the ejection port. So yeah, it came out really good. So let me put this arm back in. Go ahead, take this, stick it right here like that. Take this pin, come up underneath. Just that simple. You can kind of see that pin up underneath there. And there's the top of the pin. I put a bracket, like an I-beam in the back, so that now this stops. So that way it doesn't crash or hit this gun. So now it's got an actual stop. So during play, unless you bang it really hard, you know, do some kind of mistake, and that way you don't crush the gun or break the gun off. So now it's got to stop. So you can see the gun or the sword is in a different position. This was turned flat and got kind of sideways, just didn't look right. But that's it. My buddy's probably going to come over tonight, pick this up. So if you like what we're doing, guys, you like the channel, please come back. Share, like, and subscribe. Hit that notification button. Next thing on the agenda is I'm going to do a couple showcases. Put those in the showcase list. I got some more painted stuff I'm going to go ahead and show you. But for me, the next big project is I'm going to hand scratch build my own Stompa. So that's the next big project on the agenda. I want to throw one of these Stompas on the table. My buddy used this. He said that works great. His opponent, because we're all in the same group, his opponent said that the Stompa probably did 1,200 damage against his own guys. So 1,200 hit points worth of damage, or 1,200 army points, I should say. So that's pretty good. 850 point Stompa doing 1,200 points of damage. I'll take it any day of the week. So like we say, share, like, subscribe, hit that notification button. We're going to wrap this one up. Like we always say in the channel, may all your dice rolls come up sixes unless you're looking for a 1. Peace out.